In the men's bracket that was just released, Wisconsin will be the number 2 seed in Providence, and they will play the number 3 seed Quinnipiac on Friday at 5:30. Men's hockey, yes. There you go, stay out here. I think we got some more weather like yesterday on tap for this week. I don't know, Wisconsin finishes their season at 35-6. We're hoping to have Captain Britta Curl and Caroline Harvey from Wisconsin joining head coach Mark Johnson. And a side note, Caroline Harvey is kind of a local player. She's from Salem, New Hampshire, which is a city down on the Massachusetts border just south of Manchester. those two right there, yeah. We do have head coach Mark Johnson and two players, number 17, the captain Britta Curl, and number 4, Caroline Harvey, on their way. This was the 18th NCAA appearance for the Wisconsin Badgers, 15 times in the Frozen Four, 7 national titles. Thank you very much for making it up here. Head coach Mark Johnson, would you like to start with some opening comments for the game?
Well, first of all, congratulate Ohio State on winning the game this afternoon. Seemed like a chess match, at least for 55 or so minutes, but it stings. I mean, anytime you get in this position and, you know, you work with a group of players for an entire season, and you're so close, but yet so far away from, you know, getting the championship trophy. I mean, it stings and it hurts, and it should. I mean, these kids put a lot of time. They put a lot of energy. They commit themselves. They go through adversity. I mean, we ended up winning 35 games this year, and as I told the squad after the game, I mean, once the sting goes away and the hurt, you know, subsides, and you reflect on your season, there's a lot for them to be proud of. I mean, we still have a young team. I thought they did well this afternoon. They gave us an opportunity to win the game. It seemed as the third period was going on, it was going to be who would get to 1 first. And unfortunately for us, that wasn't in our in the plans as far as you know, giving up a goal, but it wasn't due to lack of effort. It was a battle for space on the ice. There weren't a lot of quality scoring opportunities at both ends, and so it's going to come down to one play. They made the play, they win the game, and it hurts.
Thank you. Okay, let's open it up to either the players or the coach for questions. Just raise your hand and we'll get a microphone to you. Thank you.
Mark Stewart, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, for KK and Britt. I guess I'm just wondering if you could kind of speak to maybe what Ohio State maybe did a little bit better this time than the last time you guys faced them. What did you see was maybe different and made it a little tougher this time?
I'm not sure if it was anything necessarily that they did much better. I thought it was just a good back and forth hockey game. Yeah, it's one of those games where one team gets one bounce and that usually decides it. I thought we had opportunities to win. I thought we, looked like a really good hockey team for most of the game. So, yeah, it's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate. Obviously, they got one late and put the game away, but I don't think necessarily they were the better team out there today. It was pretty back and forth effort on both sides, so just got lucky on that one.
Up front here.
Mletsky with the Wisconsin State Journal. Britta, coach was saying yesterday that no matter the result, he was hoping that you guys would walk out of here with your being able to hold your heads up and thinking you put together your best effort. Did you guys do that? And are you at a point now where you can do that, or is it hurt a little bit too much?
I mean, I know I'm gonna walk out just proud of this group. That's sports. Sometimes you lose, but I told the girls I'd choose to be in that locker room every time. So.
Alex Hall, New Hampshire Union Leader. KK, can you just kind of speak about the defensive strategy for the game and just how you guys felt like you executed back there?
Yeah, I feel like we were pretty solid for the most part. Obviously, the breakdown and the goal, it happens sometimes, but I feel like our defensive side of it was pretty good. We were on them, took away a lot of their time and space. We're trying to surf on them, gap up on them. It was just one breakdown, but felt pretty confident in our group defensively today.
for either one of the players. It seemed like the chances were there. It was just bouncing a lot. Pucks were hitting skates instead of tape. Just seemed like maybe there was a little bit of sharpness that wasn't quite there, what we've seen, on Friday and before. Is that, just the stress of the moment, anything like that? Can you kind of address what may have gone into that?
Yeah, I think that's just championship hockey a lot of times. I mean, both teams are playing really good defensively. I thought they blocked shots really well. They had good sticks, so it was, tough to make those pretty plays that we so often do. But again, it's just a really high stress moment, and sometimes you can't make the perfect play.
Andrew Banstra, WIC. Britta, obviously it's really close here after, but do you have kind of any thoughts right away about kind of your career and kind of the legacy that you've left on Wisconsin and kind of everything that goes into that?
Not really. I just feel really blessed.
Mark, I just wanted to ask just what was sort of the thought process with the third period timeout, and what do you kind of want to talk to the team about at that point?
Well, it was more the line that was out there was at the end of their shift, and they were exhausted. And obviously, I felt at that time it might be a 1-0 game, and I didn't want to give up anything at that point. So it wasn't what I needed to talk about. It was more to get that group off and get somebody else out there to win the face-off and go from there.
Up front here.
KK, obviously it's still fresh, but Coach kind of talked about a lot of young players, the future of the program. Just can you talk about what maybe the journey of this season maybe is done for you and maybe your teammates is for the ones that are coming back next year, and how you think it could help moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, definitely hit a lot of bumps in the road personally and as a team this year, but I think it helped our group grow stronger. We're definitely going to use that going into next year. Wouldn't have wanted to done it with any other group. So proud of these girls and how far we've come, and we're hungry for next year already.
KK, I just wanted to ask about just sort of the local support for you this weekend. Obviously, would have liked a different outcome, but a lot of signs in the stands today for you, some shirts and things. Just what did that sort of mean to you?
Yeah, I feel very fortunate. I mean, obviously coming back home, but just for our team to compete this weekend and made it as far as we did. But yeah, having that support meant the world to me, and so blessed to have everyone here, friends and family.
Mark, I wanted to kind of get you talked about Ava before, but I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on how she held up today in this kind of environment in a championship situation.
She did well. I mean, as I look at it, with her getting the experience she got all season, especially the last 3 or 4 weekends, that's going to help her down the road. It'll help her for next year, and as she continues her career at Wisconsin here. We had 2 freshman defensemen in the lineup tonight, 2 sophomore defensemen who've been through this before. One's on the winning end and this year on the losing end, and so great experiences for those young players as we move forward. And so it's, Ava gave us a chance to win, and that's all you can ask for your goaltender. I thought she looked composed. She looked like she was comfortable, looked like she liked the challenge. And unfortunately, we weren't able to get any pucks behind their goaltender to give her some support.
Question in the back.
Carly Murata with WKOW. Coach, you guys have met so many times this season, and you know this team really well. Did you feel like it was going to come down to just one thing in this game?
Well, it was more of a defensive game. I was really happy the way the first period went. They're a very aggressive forechecking team, and we were able to, exit our zone the way we felt we were capable of doing. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to be able to do it, but I thought, once we got through the 20 minutes, okay, now the mountain, the climb isn't as high. Now you're only down to 40 minutes, and even after the second period, I thought we were in a good spot. I mean, you don't want to get in a run and chase game with them. Anytime you can keep them under 30 shots in a given game, that's probably going to bode well for you. And so I thought going into the third period, we're in a perfect spot. All you do is have to win 20 minutes, and you win the hockey game. And unfortunately, we weren't able to get to one. And they capitalized with a little over 7 minutes to go, and that was enough to finish the game off for them.
Follow-up.
Yeah, just one more. I know it was tough for Britta to answer, so I'm going to ask you just what she means to the program and the legacy that she's left. I feel like she's what it means to be a Badger.
Yeah, and in a lot of different areas, not only on the ice, but more importantly off the ice. And like I say, once the sting starts to wear down a little bit and the pain starts to go away, and you start reflecting on not only what she was able to do this season for our team, but over a career with a lot of the players. I mean, they can walk out of there with their heads up. I mean, they've done some great things. They've entertained our crowd. They've strengthened our program. They've mentored our younger players. They've done so many things, and Britta's been the leader of that for a number of years. And so, I mean, when she came in as a young freshman, and if we could have written down, like, okay, here's what your career is going to look like. Your last game at LeBon, you're going to walk off with a trophy. I mean, there's so many memories that she's going to have, and right now you just can't think of them because of what you just lost and the sting that it presents. But, and that's part of being an athlete. That's part of playing in this game. But, she's been a lot, meant really a lot to our program, and we're certainly going to miss her, probably more so off the ice than on the ice.
Right down here in front.
Britta, how close were you to getting past Barnes on the one that they turned around and ended up scoring on? It seemed like it was a pretty thin margin there, and maybe you had a chance going the other way.
Yeah, not close enough, I guess. She's a really good player, tough to get by. Just made a good play. I don't know, it was tough. She's kind of on my backside, didn't really know where she was, but the other quick turnover team, they transition well, and just sucks.
Any last questions for the coach and players? We have one in the back here.
Kyle Heavey, WMUR. Attendance 4,378. Were you guys impressed with the size of your crowd to come into New Hampshire from so far away with Wisconsin? Like, could you feel the energy? It was the third highest attended game in women's college hockey championship history.
I don't think the players or myself or people around Wisconsin are probably surprised. We got great fans, whether in women's hockey or other sports. If teams are doing well and they're in tournaments or events that are special outside of our regular season, they're going to travel. We had a great group last year up in Duluth that came up and watched us win up there. And although this is a little bit more challenging for them to get to, it's fun having them. It creates an atmosphere that makes it enjoyable for the players and the staffs of the teams that are part of it. And it's just great to see that people are willing to come out for women's hockey and support our event. And so, unfortunately, we came up a little short, so the celebration wasn't what it was supposed to be, but that's the other part of our fans. They know how to celebrate well, too, so we weren't able to give it to them, but hopefully we'll be in this position again down the road.
All right, thank you very much, Coach.
Thanks.
And players. Safe travels back to Wisconsin.